Welcome to Healthcare Sucks.
Hello, I'm Terry Martin. Good to have you with us.
And that is
It's
Healthcare
never been
Sucks.
tried
Here we
before,
go.
and no one's sure if it will work. Chinese authorities are attempting to quarantine the city of Wuhan, a metropolis of 11 million people that's at the center of the coronavirus outbreak that's spreading across Asia and beyond. All transport in and out of the city has been closed down, but will the attempt to isolate the city work?
Trying to contain a city of 11 million people is new to science. It has not been tried before as a public health measure. So we cannot at this stage say it will or it will not work. We note that if this is happening, we will note carefully to what extent it is maintained, how long it can take.
Public transport within the city of Wuhan has also been suspended, with residents advised to stay at home. So far, 17 people have died from the respiratory illness, and almost 600 cases have been confirmed across China.
A doctor in Wuhan shows the isolation ward to a camera team from state television. No other journalists are allowed access. This is where the infected patients are treated and their data collected in an attempt to bring the virus under control. Detailed records are very valuable for analyzing and evaluating large amounts of data going forward. Most patients in Wuhan's clinics have only mild symptoms, fever and breathing difficulties. 5 of the dead are known to have had pre-existing health conditions. But Beijing isn't taking any chances.
We have evidence that the illness spreads through the respiratory passages, and there is the possibility that the virus could mutate and pose a greater threat.
And China is on the move. Some 400 million people are traveling ahead of the Lunar New Year holiday. Many are nervous. I am worried about the virus, not just for my own health, but for my whole family. Everyone is traveling for New Year. I'm just relying on myself. I'm not so confident because I don't believe what I hear. The number of infections could be a lot higher than is being reported. The evening news on state television mentions the virus for the first time 20 minutes in. Prime Minister Li Keqiang called on all affected places to be efficient and transparent in their response. In Geneva, the World Health Organization's Emergency Committee extended talks for an extra day after hearing reports from several countries.
The decision about whether or not to declare a public health emergency of international concern is one I take extremely seriously, and one I'm only prepared to make with appropriate consideration of all the evidence.
One case has been confirmed outside of Asia. A man fell ill in the US state of Washington on the west coast after returning from Wuhan a week ago. Russia has also reported suspected cases. Authorities there are carrying out temperature checks on all passengers arriving from China. More stringent checks are in place at airports across the world in a bid to reduce the risk of the disease spreading further.
And with that, we're going to start off with the new part called Troy's 2 cents worth. Anyway, it's kind of a thing I'm throwing at you. In all true seriousness, let's take a look at this. And we've discussed this before. If you don't want to stay for this part of the film, hey, I understand. But Troy's 2 cents is got gut feeling, and usually I'm pretty wise over the years, and I've done healthcare for many years, so on with it, shall we say, on with the show. Number one, you're locking down 11 million people in one city. That's bigger than New York. New York's like 9 million for comparison. So just imagine, okay? You're talking airfares done, trains, taxis, buses, everything shut down, guys. Everything. Okay, and you just heard on here they're being told to stay home. Okay, if you live in your own home, your own house, or you're on a farm or something like that, you pretty much so can survive. You probably got some groceries put away and stuff. Let's say 11 million people. I'm gonna go way out there and say 8 million of those people, or let's even go less. Let's go 50%. Let's say 450, or you know what I'm saying, 4,500,000 live in the cities. Okay, that means they don't have a lot of groceries on hand. They don't have room. Most people live in those little condos, little apartments, so they don't have it. So staying home, it might sound great, but it ain't gonna happen. So you got to go out to the store, like what I said in my last video. So yeah, you put the mask on, take all the precautions, washing your hands, soap and water. But the bottom line is you have to go get food at some point, and water and things, medications, everyday life stuff, guys, shampoos, etc. So right now, I would say people are out there shopping, and if they're not, and anybody over there gets any of these videos, you need to get out there and get your stuff now, because it's only going to get worse when the lockdown officially starts. I mean, we're on the countdown now to bottom line, guys, especially China. I bet we're looking at martial law. How else are you going to keep 11 million? And we keep hearing about people escaping. One lady escaped and was eating dinner and talking about it. I watched that over on Fugel. That's Marfugel News TV. Was talking about it. Shout out to him. Great news. Lady was being mouthy about, how she escaped and whatever. And she might have escaped, guys. But, to get too cocky about it's not cool. So bottom line here is, and lessons for us to learn in the United States as this goes on, is if this thing gets out of control, being prepared, you should be prepared anyway. Most of us people have tried to educate our followers, our people out there that want to survive it, no matter what it is to have food and water on hand, defensive items, let's just call it that. Fill your car up. I mean, if I was over there, I'd be filling up cars, going shopping tonight. And I mean, if I had limited bankroll, I might even overdraw my account to go shopping, because who knows what tomorrow's going to bring. I'm not saying bounce about 20 checks or some crazy thing. That's illegal and not good. But if you had to go shopping and bounce one, you could maybe afford that. To buy food and groceries and supplies for you and your family in one stop, like a Walmart special run or something. So with that, guys, it just keeps getting worse. So I'm gonna be on it. I'll bring you it as soon as I get info right to you. And with that, remember, healthcare sucks. Over and out.